Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl is one of my personal favorite films, depending on the day and depending on how we want to categorize the Lord of the Rings films. Okay, can I just go ahead and assess it as one cohesive work and just put that at the top, or do I have to break down all of the individual chapters? But I digress here. The Curse of the Black Pearl is either in my top 10, it could be in my top 5, given on any given day. As for the rest of the films, I mean, I like half of Dead Man's Chest. At World's End was the first film that I was overwhelmingly disappointed by when I ended up leaving the midnight screening for it. Okay, I was super excited for that, especially with the cliffhanger at the end of, Dead Man's Chest. That was wild, man. It's like, how did he get back? Barely explained that at the end, and then just the rug pull with Tia Dalma in the third. Don't even get me started. But then also, I think, I definitely went on opening day, but it might have been for a midnight release as well. Okay, for Pirates 4, was that on Stranger Tides? I hate that movie. I hate Pirates 4. Like, for as much as people want to, point to, and justifiably so, for Star Wars and the denigration of the character of Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi, I mean, Barbossa was done just as dirty in Pirates 4, but nobody remembers that. Like, that's just wild, man. Oh my god, against my own better judgment, I gotta go back and watch that. And I also need to watch 5. I think I hear that that's slightly better, but I mean, we're talking about a 3 film that's out there. But apparently, according, to some of the people that are in the know, if Disney's gonna be going ahead with rebooting or making a sequel for Pirates of the Caribbean, we need to harken back to a movie that inexplicably made $1 billion, and I guess I contributed to that, okay? But you need to go back and rehash this character nobody can remember. Like, you had Blackbeard's long-lost daughter. Christ, you had Blackbeard played by Ian McShane, and you wasted... God, the more I think about that movie, the more I hate it. Pirates of the Caribbean 6 already has a Jack Sparrow replacement. Here's the thing. With Pirates of the Caribbean without Jack Sparrow, it's not going to work, man. It's kind of like a Captain America film without Captain America. Which studio would be dumb enough to do that? All right, we're talking about a Disney property here. That would also fix a previously wasted character. No, she wasn't wasted. She was just incredibly uninteresting. Like, just, oh man, a girl Jack Sparrow. It's like, yeah, Penelope Cruz is attractive and all, but that movie was like, what, 10 years ago at this point in time? And I understand, she's aging quite like Salma Hayek, except for 2 notable exceptions. But if you're going to be looking to continue this franchise, why would you pick somebody who's knocking on the door of 50? It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But Pirates of the Caribbean 6 is an exciting prospect for many, even if Johnny Depp may not return as Captain Jack Sparrow. It's a ready-made Depp replacement from the previous movie that could just about work. In a sense, no one could ever replace Jack Sparrow. Yeah, and you would be stupid to try that, man. It's one of those things where even if you are recasting the role, it's like Jack Sparrow is a creation from the mind of Johnny Depp, which is eclectic in and of itself. But just trying to replace him with somebody else, there are very few original characters that are out there, and especially ones that have come out in the past 20, 25 years that are as memorable and iconic as Captain Jack Sparrow. That would be like replacing, I don't know, like say Tony Stark with a diverse female teenager who created an Iron Man suit with a box of scraps in her apartment on the south side of Chicago. It's like, why would anybody be so stupid as to try to make that happen? However, replacing Depp, yes, with one key Pirates of the Caribbean character would serve the dual purpose of reviving the underused character as well as filling a role that Depp may not be able to take. Interesting. Pirate 6 is in development, and producer Jerry Bruckheimer confirmed that he has spoken to Johnny Depp about reprising his role as Captain Jack Sparrow. Oh, really? Well, apparently he's done a little bit more than just speak to Johnny about this, but we'll come back to that here real shortly, because I'm going to see this cope around trying to revive this, Penelope Cruz character, Angelica, and whatever, man. Okay, it was actually a great Pirates of the Caribbean character. No, bro, she was trash. She was a great addition to the Pirates of the Caribbean, and Penelope Cruz would make a wonderful lead for the upcoming Pirates 6. Yeah, because you couldn't get that Margot Robbie-led Pirates reboot off the ground. So yeah, just go ahead and dig back into the depths of the Pirates films that nobody terribly looks fondly upon. Angelica was a capable fighter, and she would totally fit into the ideology and the message that Disney wants to put across. And her most interesting conflict was already, buttoned up and done away with at the end of Pirates 4. Like, there's no real place to carry on her story because, yeah, I don't think she was a part of 5, right? As far as I know, like I said, I haven't watched it, but I'm pretty sure she wasn't in that at all whatsoever. So, yeah, you'd be going back, you would be skipping over an already forgettable movie that brought back, all of your integral characters to revive one that nobody remembers. Because, On Stranger Tides came out in 2011. Wow. So yeah, 14 years ago, and if they're going to be going in development really soon, it doesn't make any sense at all. But yeah, finally sacrificed in order to benefit Ian McShane's Blackbeard. Yeah, because if you're doing a pirate movie, you want to know about Blackbeard's daughter, who is incredibly one-dimensional and is just simply used as a plot device in order to get your charismatic lead in with the legendary pirate. Yeah, no, so just go ahead and drag her back. But apparently, we aren't going to have to worry about that because Johnny Depp, he's apparently coming back, man. No, this is being reported everywhere, and I'm just using Fandom Pulse here for the coverage on it. But Johnny Depp to return as Captain Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean film. Now, okay, listen, for as much as I was ragging on the, beleaguered casting of dragging back Penelope Cruz, I don't think that this is going to be any better. Okay, Johnny Depp, he's so far removed. Like, Dead Men Tell No Tales, you could see from that chart before 2017, and he was already long in the tooth at that point in time. Johnny Depp is one of my favorite actors. Okay, I also don't want to get that twisted as well, but how many times have we seen franchises or beloved names from older franchises come back in order to revitalize it, okay, with a new installment? How many times have we seen that, and how many times has that worked out? We've seen it plenty, and it really hasn't worked out at all for anything, to be completely honest. Outside of the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Remake trilogy, yeah, you had all of those old heads come back and, just really write a banger story and flesh out a game like we've never seen before. But it's woke because, tying down Tifa's tits or something like that. A new rumor alleges that Johnny Depp will return to the role of Captain Jack Sparrow in a new Pirates of the Caribbean film. Dempsey Pilot, whatever, man, at Diz Insider shared that an inside source revealed that Walt Disney Studios is quietly gearing up for production on the next installment of the series at one Hollywood soundstage. Okay, and the entry will feature the return of Depp. It is speculated back in May of 2024 that Depp might return to the role of Captain Jack Sparrow after he was filmed inside Disneyland dressed up as the character. Really? That was from back in 2024? Because he looks to be in really good shape because especially after the toll that the trial and all of that drama took on him, he was looking a lot more worse for wear, and he actually looks pretty decent. If that was just last year, that's crazy. Okay, however, all other previous signs point to the fact that Depp is not returning. Yeah, I mean, outside of a couple of scoopers coming forward and say, hey guys, don't worry, Depp is definitely returning. I heard it, and I've seen people, it's kind of like that rumor that Chris Hemsworth has been spotted this month in the UK ahead of Avengers Doomsday starting to film next month. Okay, cool. And actors in a country that is eventually going to film a movie. Really breakthrough stuff that we have right here. But yeah, it's wishful thinking because, yeah, for as much as, the big triumphant return of Captain Jack Sparrow, portrayed by Johnny Depp one last time to properly set up, handing off the keys to the Black Pearl. I know that ships don't have keys, but just follow me with the analogy. That would be so much better, okay? If you wanted, because Disney, Lucasfilm, Marvel, everybody has tried this time and time again. Like you had Indiana Jones, okay, and their pathetic attempt a couple of years back to try to make a new Indiana Jones, but in actuality, it just ended up killing a franchise. Star Wars setting up Rey, you couldn't have imagined a more catastrophic disaster than that. And Disney, with arguably their biggest in-house IP of the past 30 years, you have a chance if you want to do anything live action with the Disney brand itself, because all of your remakes have totally flopped on their face. Like they might make a lot of money in the short term, but what's the legacy of the Aladdin remake, the Lion King remake? We've seen its legacy. Its sequel comes out, or its prequel, I guess, and it makes less than half of the original. And we're about to see the overall effects of your live action remakes here in about a month's time with Snow White. I bet that's going to be just wonderful. But yeah, man, doing a good, strong handoff. A new pirate captain, well, that's going to be tough. Well, it's definitely going to be tough, okay? Filling the well-trodden boots of Captain Jack. It's not impossible, but in order to set your guys' franchise and to set yourself up for success, you're going to have to try to make that happen. So all in all, what we know is Disney has plans for the franchise moving forward. Has Depp signed on the bottom line? Has he decided to take one more trip to sea? I suppose time will tell. Part of me does not want this. In fact, a vast majority of me does not want this. But every once in a while, you see some news like this, and there's got to be some hope out there, right? It can't all be crap, right? Oh well. Famous last words, I suppose. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.